Hi everyone, so in this video we're going to go over how to download, install and set up the WooCommerce plugin. WooCommerce is an e-commerce plugin used for WordPress websites, and it's used by small to large online businesses that also use WordPress. So the first thing you want to do is download the WooCommerce plugin. So you can download directly through the WordPress directory if you just go into plugins, add new, and then just search for the WooCommerce plugin. And then click install now to install it. And then once it's installed, you just want to click activate to activate the plugin. You can also go onto WooCommerce download, search for it on Google, and then just click on WooCommerce plugin and download it from the WordPress directory that way as well. So just when you're on this page, you just want to click download and then upload the plugin yourself manually. As soon as WooCommerce has finished activating, it'll take you through to the WooCommerce setup wizard. So it'll take you through step by step exactly how to set up, and we'll also take in any kind of business information to help understand what kind of products you'll be selling, what kind of business that you are. So you want to start off with typing in the shop address, and this will help set up any currency, shipping, taxes in a bit more an automated way. So you start off with the country, the address, postcode, and the city. And then you just want to click continue. And then it'll ask you sort of which industry does your store operate in, and then you would just pick whichever industry works best for your company. And then you want to select what kind of products will be listed. So by default, WooCommerce will allow you to have physical products and downloadable products for free. So you're able to have as many of those physical products and downloadable products as you want with no extra cost. However, things like subscription type products, membership products, bookings, bundles, customizable products, they will require an additional plugin, and they've listed the prices here. For this video, we'll just use it to set up physical products and downloadable products. And then you just click continue. And just a few more questions about your business. Next thing then is you want to pick the theme. So by default, it'll use the theme that you are currently running with. So in this example, we're using the Hello Elementor theme. There are paid themes that you can use, and there are free themes that you can use. With the free themes, WooCommerce have their own theme that you can use as well. For this example, we'll stick with the Elementor theme, as it is compatible with the WooCommerce plugin and is also free. So you just want to click continue with my active theme. And there you go, that's your products all set up. And you'll see whenever you come back to your dashboard, there's a new tab for WooCommerce with a bunch of menu tabs separating for the sub-menu parts. You've got home, orders, customers, coupons, reports, settings, status, and extensions. The WooCommerce dashboards kind of take you through step by step what you need to do. So you've got the first step done, you add store details. The next thing then is how to add products, set up payments, and things like that. You'll also notice that under the pages, a few new pages are there. So things like the account page, the checkout page, cart page, the refund and returns policy, and the shop page. So these all came with the WooCommerce plugin whenever you first installed it. But if it hasn't been if they're not there whenever you first install it, you can always add pages and add those pages as well in case it's not there. But essentially, these pages will be there and when you first download, install, and set up WooCommerce. So back to the WooCommerce plugin. On the dashboard, you'll just see the step-by-step list of what you need to do next, and you'll also get some stats overview as well. You can also change the display. So right now it's single column, you can change it to a 2-column display. In the orders tab, we'll show all the different orders that you'll get as soon as the site is live and people are purchasing it. This will be all orders that are successful, any orders that have failed, any orders that are returned, they'll all be listed here. And any new customers and customer details, they'll all be saved here as well. So if you click into customers, and it'll show you sort of the username, the name of the person that's ordered, the country and region they delivered to, their postcode, and their email as well. And you can also see how many times this person has ordered. Then you have the coupons tab, and this is where you will add coupons here. or vouchers, whichever you like to call it, but they're essentially used to offer your clients a discount on some of your products. This can be discounts like 50% off, a certain amount off a certain item, off certain groups of items, off your total cart, and things like that. Then you'll also see this tab here, this new tab here called products, and this is essentially your products tab. So all the products that you'll have will be listed here. And these are live products that are publishable, that are published and on the site that clients can see. Same as well as any downloadable products, any draft products, any deleted products. They'll all be set up here, so you'll be able to add in all the products this way. Within the products tab, it's separated in between categories and tags, attributes and reviews. So you can assign custom categories and custom tags to each product to make it a bit more easier to organize, especially if you have lots of different kinds of products. With the attributes, so this is used for something called variable products, and variable products allow you to sell a product that has different variations. So for example, if you wanted to sell a t-shirt, that'll come in 5 different sizes. The size is essentially an attribute of the product, so you can set attributes there, and we'll go over how to set attributes for each of your products. Then you have reviews, and this is essentially when someone reviews an item, they will obviously, it'll show on the site, but they'll also be saved on the back end as well, so you can review what products are getting what kind of reviews. The analytics tab also gets added whenever you install WooCommerce, and this essentially shows you reporting, charts, leaderboards, things like that. So you can see exactly how your products are doing in the shop, and you can sort of control it with the date range here. So by default, it'll show you the month to date, but you can do last week, last month, last quarter. You can give it a custom date range as well, but it'll essentially show you all the order data, and all the product data as well, so you can see your top products sold, your top categories, what day had the most orders, what day had the least orders, and things like that. So it's really good for in a reporting sense, and there's lots of features within that we can go over. And then within the marketing tab is where the coupons are, so they have a separate tab for coupons and vouchers, so that's listed here. If you ever wanted to change the settings, so the shop location, for example, that we changed, that we had added in the beginning, if you wanted to change those details, all you need to do is go into the settings tab, and you can see the store address is listed here. This is also where you can set up things like your tax and coupons. So this section here, enable tax, this will mean that whatever tax rate that you set, it'll be enabled at checkout. If that's selected, then it'll be enabled at checkout. If not, it'll be added within the price. And WooCommerce have really flexible tax rules and tax options that you can set up yourself within the settings as well. Then you have the coupons as well. So by default, enable the use of coupons is selected, which means that coupons can be used. If you were to uncheck this, it means that coupons can't be used. So even if you do set up coupons within the marketing tab, they won't be able to be used because this isn't being selected. The next thing then is the currency option. So you just want to make sure that the currency is correct. So by default, it'll show the currency of the country that you had put in the beginning in the store address. In case it's different, you just want to make sure that the currency is there, that the currency position is correct, and the 1000 separator, all of that is correct as well. Once you're happy with that, you just want to click Save Changes. Within the Products tab, again, so it'll show you all the product settings. So things like shop page, it'll allow you to set what page is your shop page, and that's set by default. So when you downloaded WooCommerce and installed it, they added the shop page for you, and they've assigned that page as the shop page. And you can change the add to cart behavior. So there's 2 options. You can redirect to the cart page after successful addition, which basically just means when someone adds a product to the cart, they'll immediately be taken to the cart page. The other option then is enable Ajax, and that just means when they add buttons to the cart or add items to the cart, the page will just add the item to the cart without refreshing, and they'll still stay on that same page, so they won't be taken to another page. This is probably the most popular one, as taking users straight to the checkout would mean that they won't be able to browse. They'll have to, go back to the page that they were manually. It can be good if you're only wanting customers to be able to purchase one order at a time. In which case, then yes, you can redirect to the cart page. If not, if you're wanting people to browse traditionally, browse different categories, different products, and add as many as they want, then I recommend just keeping it to the Enable Ajax Add to Cart button selected. Next thing then is a placeholder image. So by default, then a placeholder image does get added to your media library. So that's just set in here. And then you can set the dimensions and for the unit and the unit for the weight and the dimensions as well. So by default it's kilograms and centimeters, because the country that we used to set up the address is the United Kingdom, so it's used the measurements used for that, but otherwise you can change it manually to the other measurement units if you wanted to. And then you can enable product reviews and product ratings. So by default these are all enabled, but you can remove that so that they can't add a review if you don't want it to. You do have options within that, so if you do enable product reviews, you can have these options here. So reviews can only be left by verified users. What that means is that users will have had to purchase the product before being able to leave a review. And then you have the option if you want them to leave a star rating as well. If not, you can cancel that option out fully. And again, you want to save changes before moving on to another part of the site. Next thing then is the inventory. So this is essentially the product inventory and things like that. So this is how you would essentially manage stock. So you can manage stock, you can enable stock management, which means you have more control over how many of each product is there, and that way when you are selling products, you're not overselling more than you already have. So this might be a better way to do this. If it's not enabled, then the stock management is auto-managed, meaning that you enter the quantity and WooCommerce will subtract items as sales are made. So if you enter 60 of one of the t-shirts, then WooCommerce will check how many people have bought, how many times the t-shirt has been bought, and then it'll display in stock, out of stock, or on back order. Or you can disable it. If you disable it, then the inventory and status for products must be entered manually, and you can still enable stock management per product if you want to. The other option then is to hold stock in minutes. So essentially hold products for unpaid order for a certain amount of limits basically. So essentially when someone gets to the payment and they want to pay for their products, and for some reason the payment doesn't go through, then this essentially lets you decide how long you want the system to hold that stock for. So essentially they can have, if this is set to 60, then they have an hour to finally process the payment, or put in another card that will allow them to process the payment. After an hour, then the stock goes back up and they will need to re-add the product back to the cart. So if you want to disable that completely, you can just leave that as 0. The other thing then is to enable low stock notifications and enable low out of stock notifications. So low stock notifications means once the product hits a certain amount of stock, then you will get a notification saying, hey, this product is low in stock. And the other one then is to enable out of stock notifications. So when a product goes out of stock, you'll get an email saying, hey, this product is also out of stock. So you want to set the email here, so notification recipients, and then you want to add in the email that is responsible for the stock, and you can add more than one email as well. The low stock threshold, so you want to set a number to what counts as low stock. So for example, if you have 60 items of one part, 60 products, 60 of one product basically, and you want to know whenever the stock hits 10, then you want to set the low stock threshold at 10. So when that product then hits 10 in stock, then you'll get an email saying this product only has 10 left. And then the out of stock threshold you can set as well. That's usually defaulted to 0, but you can set out of stock threshold at a different number as well. out of stock visibility, so you can choose to hide out of stock items from the catalog if you wanted to. So if you click that, then the out of stock item will not appear on the site. However, if you don't check that, they'll be able to see the out of stock item, but they won't be able to buy the out of stock item. And stock display format, so how do you want the stock to be displayed? So you can show as remaining quantity, so you can have the product say only 12 in stock, only so and so in stock. You can only show remaining in stock, so only 2 left in stock, only 3 left in stock. You can choose to never show quantity remaining in stock, so it'll just say in stock. So it's up to you how you want to decide that. Then once you're done, you just want to click Save Changes. So all of these settings were for the inventory. The next one then is for downloadable products. So WooCommerce let you sell downloadable products, things like PDFs, Word docs. You can send audio files, any files where you can't physically hold or is tangible, and files that you can sort of save on your computer. You can enable that. So within the downloadable products, you can choose how you want people to be able to download it once they've successfully bought it. So you can force the downloads, or you can redirect to another site. This just depends on how you are uploading the products. So forced downloads are files are forced to download by some code, then they're not accessible to anyone but people who have bought it, basically. And the redirect only is a download URL that links users to the file. So if you have the file saved on like a Google Drive, then you can just set that as a link, and then people can be shown the link basically once they've been purchased. You can most stores only use the first one to keep files safe from outside access. So the redirect one you should only really use if there's a problem with the first one, really, or if you don't mind your downloads being non-secure, because the redirect only one is secure. If someone it is for other people to get the link if they wanted to, so you just want to make sure you always click the forced download ones. Next thing then is the access restrictions. So if you select downloads require login, that means people would need to log in first before they download, and you can grant access to downloadable products after payment. So this essentially means do you want people to get their products after their orders are processing, so while they're still being paid for, or whenever the order has been completed? So it's up to you how you want to do that, which way you want to grant access, but you do have the option to have either one of those. Next tab then is the shipping tab. So this is where you will control all of the shipping zones. So each country or each area that you ship to, if there's different rules for different areas, you can set them up as zones, and you can have a different rule for each zone essentially. So we'll go over that in another video. And then you have payments. So this is essentially where all your payment gateways are set. So by default, you have these 4 options already installed, except for WooCommerce payments. You will need to install that. But essentially, there's WooCommerce payments, direct bank transfer, check payments, and cash on delivery. Then you have the accounts and privacy page. So this kind of controls how you want people to download at the checkout. So do you want people to download purchase a product or download a product after without an account, or do they always have to log into or are you going to only allow people who have an account to place an order? You can also, if you decide to only allow customers to place orders without an account, you can allow them to log in during the checkout process. You can also allow them to create an account during the checkout process as well. And the next thing then is the emails. So this is a list of emails that WooCommerce will send out for different events. So there's a notification email for orders that are new, any cancelled orders, and any failed orders. So it'll show you there who's receiving it. So this is for the site owner. And it'll basically, if you click into each one of them, so if you click on manage for the new order one, it'll show you what'll get sent. So it'll show you it's sent to this email. Subject is the site title and the order number. Email heading is the order number, and the additional content is just congratulations on the sale, but you can add more text if you wanted to. But essentially you get an email for every single order that you get. You can choose to disable it. If you uncheck that, it'll disable this email notification, but then you just want to click save changes to make sure all the changes are saved. So those emails go to the site owner, and the other emails goes to the customer. So emails like the order's on hold, the order's been completed, the order's been refunded, things like that. Those are all for the customer, but you can go into manage and decide to either enable the notification, or you can even change the additional content and things like that. So you can change the wording on each of the email content as well. And you can change the styling a little bit. If you go down to email templates, so the from name will take the site name, and the from address will take the site owner's site address, but you can change each of these individually here. Then you have the email template, so you can give it a header image and the footer text. So by default, it'll just show the site title, the date, and then this bit of text says built with WooCommerce, but you can take all of that out and add in your own bit of text. You can give it your own colors for the base color, the background color, body background color, and body text color, so you can change all of these as well. But then when you have made all those changes, you just want to click save changes. And next is any kind of integrations. So WooCommerce does have capacity to have any integrations as well. If you add more plugins, essentially all of the WooCommerce plugins that you want to integrate to will show up here. So if you do install any additional plugins and there's integration there, it'll show up under the integration tab. In the advanced tab, it'll just show you things like your page setup. So by default, this should already be set up when you're already install WooCommerce and you have these pages. So the cart page, checkout page, and my account page will already be added and it'll already be assigned, but you can change them to a different one as well. The terms and condition page, if it's not set up, you can set one up and then assign the page here. And then secure checkout, so you can force secure checkout, meaning that the checkout page has to be secure before accepting any payment, and that will be a requirement for certain payment gateways, things like Stripe and PayPal. They will require that the checkout is secure, so you want to make sure that this is always ticked. Under the status tab, which is just underneath the settings in WooCommerce, this will just show you the status of WooCommerce plugin itself. So if you are running into any issues with the way WooCommerce is actually running, you need to get some kind of like a system report, or you need to understand the system report, or you've contacted support and they're asking for a system report. Essentially, this is where you would go to get it. You'd go into status and you would just click get system report and then just copy, and they'll be able to look at this and tell you exactly what's going wrong, if there's any issues within that. So like, for example, this is an older version of WordPress, so you know if there is any issues, that could be a reason why that the plugin isn't working correctly. So this is essentially where you kind of debug any errors if you needed to. So yeah, that's it. That's all of the, that's essentially a basic overview of WooCommerce and how to install and download and install it. In later videos, we'll go over in depth a bit more how to add products, how to set up taxes, shipping zone, things like that. So keep watching for more. Thank you.